What was one of the biggest hurdles that you felt students faced with switching to online learning?
Good question. I think with online learning and just even, I think just COVID in general, I think the real challenge is I think a lot of students experience such a sense of loss of really, I think that in-person relationship. When you see someone face to face, there's something different about that experience. And when that's taken away from you, I think it requires your brain to be reprogrammed to think differently. And I do think sometimes in this online experience, it can actually feel isolating because you're behind it. You have a computer screen, you're watching this, and then you're not around. That human interaction is something I think we always crave as students, as members of the community at Stony Brook. So to me, that was probably the hardest part. And I also think too, some of it becomes down to time management also. Because sometimes the structure of the classes themselves, when you're going about your day in person, you have your calendar, know what you're doing. And the online, especially if it's an asynchronous class, it's a little bit more challenging to figure out, well, when do I do my work? And what's the order of it? And how do I map out my schedule to be successful? So I've talked to a lot of students. I know it's been very stressful. For students who love being on the campus and have not been able to be here, I think it's been a challenge. People are missing the chance to be on the campus. And so we're hoping that will come back very soon.
So in your position as the Vice President of Student Affairs, what is your solution to that problem?
So I think the solution, obviously one big solution is the vaccine is going to be a big part that will change us, I think in a much better way and ensure safety for everyone. But for now, I do think the virtual engagement is really our best opportunity to continue to connect with students. So I encourage every Seawolf to if you've not even stepped foot on campus, we have a lot of new students never even came to campus. There are still so many ways to get involved, and I always plug our Cork app because that app is a great way to see all the 350 clubs we have on campus, all of the events, in-person, hybrid, virtual that we offer. And I always laugh because when we did orientation this fall, again, it was completely different. We're normally here in person and every new student's together. And our team in student engagement activities did a great job working with orientation to come up with a lot of new activities that were in the virtual world. And I remember in late August watching drag bingo virtually on Zoom. And it was just a great event. And everyone's participating. They did a kind of a dance, segment where people literally on their Zoom calls are dancing. And I thought, and I'm watching this cracking up and I'm thinking, this is at least a memory we'll never forget. And so even if it isn't a virtual way, I think you can create memories for students that make them feel very special and that they feel connected to the institution. And that's, again, what we will continue to do into the spring. And again, for students who are in person, even though the weather will be colder, we're going to try to do some really cool outdoor activities still to make sure that people can have safe distance, but still connect with each other in small group settings. And we've had a lot of great things. We've done, nature walks to Ashley Shift Preserve. Our team has done Fridays at 5K runs and just other ways to really keep people engaged. So we're going to continue to do that and try to lead the way in terms of keeping students part of our community.
As a measure of safety, do you think that the vaccine will be on the mandatory vaccine list that we have before we
That is a good question. Right now, the one required vaccine, obviously, for any student is the MMR, measles, mumps, rubella is the one requirement. We did strongly encourage, and we still do, if people have not gotten their flu shot, we strongly encourage that as well. That'll be the question on the table about nationally within educational systems, governments, regions, if they would require the vaccine. I have not heard anything specific about that, but that is a question I'm sure will be considered because that will ultimately be the indication for everyone, as MMR is, of a true safety to make sure that there's no risk of transmission.
I agree.
So to be determined.
Okay, great answer.
Yeah.
And then I guess my last question for you is, do you have any questions for me?
So if I guess one question, it is, what do you love most about Stony Brook?
I like the family atmosphere of Stony Brook. Stony Brook represents a family for me. I'm from Dallas. I'm really far away from home, and I like that I can just go up to people and ask them questions. I don't get turned away. They want to provide their advice and life experience and their input into the things that I struggle with, and I love that. And they're always wanting to help me and reach out to other people, put me in contact with people. I love that. And then I also am a part of athletics, which is a huge area of my life, and I love that same thing in athletics. That entire building is my family. And through my sport, I've learned a lot of things about myself and about other people, teamwork and time management, and understanding what I truly value in life and how do I balance my social life with my work, with my sport, and getting the time to have self-care and everything else has been huge. And I think that that's an experience I wouldn't have had I not come to Stony Brook.
Well, you've just defined for me what we want at every Seawolf. So thank you, really, and for making the most of your experience at Stony Brook. I think it's incredible.
Yeah, and I think, well, there's one thing about Stony Brook that I would love to help, and that's with school pride. I think that people they're Seawolves and they're proud to be Seawolves, but you can't really see it, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Not like you would on the campus of UT or Texas State or Florida or something like that. And I think that that's something that everybody's been working towards, and I'm excited to be a part of it.
And we will continue to do that.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for coming today.
No, thank you for the
I've enjoyed-
opportunity. It was really fun.
Yeah, I've
Thanks
enjoyed
again.
talking to
Good,
you.
thanks. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to you too. And Christmas and
Thank you.
Hanukkah and all the other
Yes.
holidays.
Don't turn around, don't turn around, just keep moving forward. Keep holding on and on.